they're realizing that they're in trouble over there on that communist network, shall we say. What shall we call it? Socialist, if we're being friendly? I'll just call it a communist network. MSNBC, Reverend Al Sharpton is talking about how, maybe they do need to look at socialism right about now. Woo!
And speaking of polling, a new Wall Street Journal poll shows Democrats getting their lowest approval number among voters in 35 years, with Republicans outperforming them by nearly 20 points. How big of a red flag should this be for Democrats a year before the midterms? And what can they do to improve their perception among voters?
It's red everywhere, Rev. And it's not just a red flag. This is a blaring red alarm that Democrats should not ignore. And I say that thinking about how angry people are, because Democrats specifically ran on a platform in 2024 about how dangerous Donald Trump is, how he would lead an authoritarian type of regime in this administration, and how he is now acting on that. And Democrats have yet to formulate an explicit, comprehensive response to someone that they identified as a threat. They're not treating him as a threat. There's these attempts to use normal tactics in politics that no longer apply to the playbook or the reality that we're experiencing. And I think it's important for Democrats to listen to this and recalibrate, even including how they treat candidates who do excite voters, who do expand the number of people engaging in elections. And of course, I'm talking about New York City mayoral candidate, the Democratic nominee, Zohran Mamdani. The fact that Democrats have not overwhelmingly endorsed his campaign and then see this type of polling, which show them down, means that they need to reset themselves, not only in responding to Donald Trump, but also in engaging younger candidates who are expanding the base and exciting the public, because that's something that they're going to need critically in 2026.
In other words, just turn to communism, and then you can get the youth vote, and everything will be just great. Wow. I mean, I get that their poll numbers are down. I get that they're doing really, really badly. I get that Donald Trump is going up in the polls. Gosh, again, he just got that massive trade deal done with the EU. It comes on the heels of the one he did with Japan just last week. I mean, it's like win after win after win. So that's your answer? You're just going to throw in the towel and say, to hell with it, to hell with America, to hell with capitalism. We're going to turn to these crazy socialists like AOC. Yeah, guys, that's how bad it is in the Democrat Party. Another example, this guy, I don't know if he's still on MSNBC or not, but he was speaking about this recently. Listen in.
When you fight, you're going to piss somebody off, excuse me. And so I think, when Donald Trump won in 2016, I spent the next year talking to all sorts of people, trying to understand, how did this guy win the presidency when he ran? He was opposite everything Republicans told me that they wanted in a president. And the number one through line was he fights. And what Democrats are now demanding of their leaders is that they know, I think Democratic Party faithful, they know that that their leaders are in the minority, that there's not much that they can do. But you're just going to sit there and just let this happen? We need you to stand up and fight, give voice to the fear and the anger and the frustration that's out there in the country, not just among Democrats, but just Americans who see this chipping away at democracy that they don't like. So you have to fight, and don't worry about ticking someone off or hurting a certain constituency. In the end, it's about saving the country, saving our democracy, and then you can, put the pieces back together later. But I think Beto O'Rourke is absolutely right. If Democrats aren't willing to fight now, then it's going to be too late come 2028. Stop waiting for a savior. You are your own savior.
Fight? I mean, that's some really loaded language, don't you think? They want to fight. In other words, they hate Donald Trump so much. They hate the success that he's seeing, that he's having, that they've got to double down and fight. They've got to resist, even if it means basically standing in the face of actual law. I mean, I'm thinking about the sanctuary cities, et cetera, and mayors that are taking on enormous risks, like the mayor in Chicago or the mayor in, you have out in Los Angeles, Karen Bass, or you think about Michelle Wu in Boston. I mean, Look, even the New York City mayor, Eric Adams, is running into this. They are willing to just fight no matter what because they do not want him to succeed. And yet he's succeeding really and truly in spite of all of them. And, they can double down on AOC all they want. I don't think that is going to end well for them. I think that's going to be kind of, how shall we say, quite a disaster, right?